Paddy, but no, you are on safe ground.
You're all right.
I have to say.
It's not Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett I'm struggling after that.
But the great thing about today is that people can come inside Old Trafford and watch a game of football, including some stellar names.
Yes.
People that normally can't get a match day ticket to come in the Premier League or the Champions League.
And you get a lot of them. Probably the match result would be a big thing for them as well. I don't think the match result will make a big difference today, as long as people get entertained. And I think when you play matches like this, John, you want plenty of goals. You don't want something coming up to half-time and no score. You want to see plenty of goals.
We will run through the caption with the Manchester United team in just a moment, but you've had a look at it.
Yeah.
How would you assess its strength today?
Oh, I mean, I wish they were all playing today 20 years younger in actual fact. When you look at Paul Scholes, I mean, Zidane said what every great player I think down through the years has said, that he said Paul Scholes is the best player he's ever seen in the middle of the park, and I certainly agree with that. Fantastic. Yapstam, Ronnie Johnson, great players, great players, and the old black magic up front, Andy and Dwight. Magic. Fantastic.
The only sadness for Manchester United that Teddy Sheringham was forced to withdraw through injury. He was to have been part of this, and Dion Dublin, another casualty, has broken his collarbone playing football. But Manchester United out there first and waiting for their Real Madrid counterparts. These sides met a year ago in the Bernabeu.
Yes.
In what was called the Corazon Classic, and at the time it was mooted that would be the first leg of a two-legged game, and in fact that is the case.
Yeah.
So Real Madrid start today with a 3-2 advantage. There are no away goals, you'll be pleased to hear. They don't count double. So if the aggregate score is level at the end of 90 minutes, and if enough of the players are still standing, then it will be a penalty shootout to decide the winners.
I don't think they'll be looking at a penalty shootout. I mean, the great thing about it, when you get older and you come onto a football pitch, and the reasons why people do finish playing football, you stand beside one goal and look at the other one, and it gets further and further away as you get older. Believe me, further and further away. But you mean, it's very difficult sometimes. I mean, I know quite a few of the United lads have been training for this occasion, but it's easy when you're their age to pull a muscle or do something.
Well, we're just about there. Real Madrid taking their time. The great Hierro, their captain.
What a player he was as well. Well, you would say that when you look at the Real Madrid team, you'd say that about them all, wouldn't you? What a player he was, what a player he was. But you'd say that about the United side as well. Terrific players. What would you pay for them, John, if they're all in their 20s? What would you pay for them?
Well, probably into hundreds of millions of pounds now. So Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to play a half for either side. And the public address announcer just whipping up the fervour within the stadium, waiting for the entry of the two teams. To the familiar matchday music here at Old Trafford, there is a genuine feel of occasion inside the stadium today. More than 60,000 tickets sold. Some of the greatest names in world football over the past 20 years assembled in one place. The chance to see whether the heroes of yesteryear have still got it. And most importantly, the opportunity to raise a substantial amount of money for the Manchester United Foundation to distribute by way of help to young people in disadvantaged areas of Greater Manchester.
Past the post. I think that might be the final kick.
Kevin Friend poised, looks at one watch, glances at a second.
Will he wait to see what comes of this attack?
It's looking that way. Probably the last attack of the match. Van Nistelrooy.
Oh,
there was
chance.
Scholes was there as well. Neither of them could capitalise. And there is the final whistle, which confirms Real Madrid as the winners by 2-1 on the day, and by 5-3 on aggregates. Fernando Morientes with the first half goal for Real Madrid. Ruud van Nistelrooy, having played the first half for the Spanish team, swapped sides and scored the equaliser with 22 minutes to play. And then Ruben de la Red polished off Manchester United off the bench. A lovely, delightful chipped finish. And that came 5 minutes from time. 3-2 to Real Madrid last year, 2-1 to them here at Old Trafford 12 months on. Defeat for Brian Robson and company. There will be a trophy presentation and a chance for the crowd to give one last round of applause and to acclaim some world-class names who have performed for their entertainment in the sunshine at Old Trafford today. Ruben de la Red, scorer of the final goal, and good to see him back in action after his retirement ridiculously early because of a heart condition. The former manager, as we now have to call him, stayed until the very end and will be part of the gathering for the trophy presentation. Zinedine Zidane, who looks like he could still play at a pretty high level, still glides across the turf. And Luis Figo was another who took the eye with an ageless performance. Paul Scholes, a target for one or two of the Real Madrid players to have their picture taken. And that in itself is a compliment to the man who hails from Salford. One or two spectators trying to beat the rush. Edwin van der Sar, another man who was excellent in the first half, replaced later on by Raymond van der Houw. But he made 3 top-class saves and kept Real Madrid out for far longer than might otherwise have been the case. We have the same scoreline as the 2 first teams produced 3 months ago in the last 16 of the Champions League. Nowhere near the same amount of controversy, but the outcome is the same. Disappointing for Manchester United, but that wasn't really the main point of the day. The whole point was to raise funds for the Manchester United Foundation. David Gill, the chief executive, the outgoing chief executive of Manchester United, is down on the pitch at the moment, just awaiting some direction. He is planning to address the crowd. He's going to do so without a script.
Good footballer, John.
In vogue, yes.
Good footballer, David,
yes. Yeah. And his son too, is on the books.
Yeah, good player, David.
David Gill just composing himself, and the players waiting for a little bit of direction. That's what it's all been about. It is the inaugural Manchester United Legends Cup, which we're led to believe will be contested again in future years, not next year, which is set aside for Soccer Aid, but in 2015 the Legends Cup is likely to return to the summer itinerary here at Old Trafford. Manchester United, players applauding spectators, and spectators in turn tapping players, many of whom they haven't seen for a good number of years now. They defied their years, though, to produce an entertaining football match. Down on the pitch now, we can hear from the outgoing chief executive of Manchester United, who will soon present the trophy, and that is David Gill.
Thank you, Alan. A magnificent occasion here today, and I'd like to just say a few thank yous. Firstly to you all, thank you very much indeed in turning up in your thousands. A wonderful gate of roughly 60,000 today. We really appreciate it because you've made it so special, and through your efforts we will raise well over £800,000 for the Manchester United Foundation, which will be put to very good use in the Manchester area. I'd also like to say some thanks to everyone involved. This event has been in the planning for about a year. Lots of people, both at the foundation and within Manchester United, have worked extremely hard to put on this wonderful festival today, and I'd like to thank them for all their efforts. Thank you very much indeed. Also to the artists, to JLS, Tinchy and Amelia, thank you very much indeed for making this a real family day out, and your performance before was fantastic. Finally, also thank you to our great friends from Real Madrid. Unfortunately, that's twice they've beaten us here 2-1 this season, but there you go, you can't have everything. But we thank them, Emilio and all the team. Thank you very much indeed for being with us. And also a great thanks to Captain Marvel, to Brian Robson, who's put a lot of effort in, as you can see. The team, what shape they were in, absolutely unbelievable. So thank you very much indeed to Brian and all the Manchester United players, the Real Madrid players who put on this today. So on behalf of everyone, thank you very much indeed. Thanks, Alan.
Old Trafford, let's hear it once again for David Gill. Thank you, David.
Received
it's been a fantastic afternoon.
By the Old Trafford faithful. In fact, to call them the faithful is slightly misleading. because happily this is an event that provides access to this famous ground for spectators who may not be able to get their hands on tickets for regular games in the Premier League and the Champions League. First up for the presentation are the officials led by Kevin Friend. Paddy Crowand alongside me. What are your overriding feelings about today's game, today's occasion?
I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it because there's lots of great players out there that are, even at my age, you've still got heroes that are footballers. When you look at some of the Real Madrid players and the Manchester United players, some of the best players that have played football. So it's great to see them, and I think the crowd have been fantastic. The whole thing's been terrific. It's just a pity it's not a yearly thing, but there again.
Well, it may become that in future years. There seems to be a desire and an appetite for Legends football.
Yes, there is. I mean, particularly at this stadium anyway, and I'm sure when you looked at the crowd they got in Madrid, it was 80,000.